this root nodules, that is rhizobium nodules. So there is pretty very different means very, if you see just like your finger is getting hurt or finger is getting some insect bite, then it swells. Okay, so this is just like your root galls. Root galls are swelling after getting the infection of nematodes. But the root nodule is, rhizobium nodule is just present near the roots, and if you touch it, it will come out easily, that root nodules. But the root galls, which are built inside means the tissues become large, the cells become large. So you can't take, you just, if you touch them, it can't get outside. But the root nodules instantly come outside when you touch it. Then the third difference is that the root nodules are baby pink in color, very light pink in color. But the root galls, they are taking the root shape, or in later condition it become brown or black. Okay, because of rotting. Now there are some terms, so I want to show you. Survival of nematodes, how they adapt. Any change in the form and function of organism with varying environment which increase the chances of survival, like physiological adaptations. Ability of a physiological mechanism to respond towards change of stimulus. So any change of stimulus the nematodes find, they change their physiological conditions. Behavioral adaptation, I already told you, like swarming and aggregation, they are triggered by the extreme environmental conditions, and they change their behavior, like a swarming and aggregation. Acclimatization means adapting to the changing environment for survival. And then evolutionary adaptations. Evolutionary adaptations means during the environmental extreme conditions, they evolve. So like nematodes, this root node nematodes, they evolve from the, because initially the nematodes are fungal feeders, they are not plant parasite or insect parasite or human parasite or animal parasite. They are just they are called architylanthates, means they are just only, they are very long, they are just feeding on the microorganisms like fungi, bacteria, and other mycoplasmas, etc. But suppose during evolution, means they are not getting food, they are not getting something which are for needed with some insects, some plants, then they have to feed on that to survive. So they acclimatize to that condition. So this is evolution. So in that condition, they get they infected the insects, they become insect parasite, they infected the humans, they become human parasite, like that. Now, what are the adaptations for? For life in egg, like development of embryo within egg provides protection from desiccation and increase in the chances of nematode survival. That I told you before, that J1 lives inside. In some cases, there are exceptions that J1 hatches from the egg, but in most of the cases, J2 hatches from the egg, J1 lives inside. Annulated form of cuticle. Annulated form of cuticle means sometimes, in some nematodes, the cuticle is very much annulated, means they are folded in condition. This is to survival, and this is for the survival under different conditions. It provides greater flexibility. They also have flexibility to move. Molting of J1 larvae within the eggshell to protect the larvae from extreme environment, it was told. Now the different terms like quiescence. Quiescence, these all different survival strategies, these are all reversible. Reversible means normal conditions come, they become they behave in normal activity. But some irreversible conditions are also there, that I told you, diverse condition. So here is reversible condition, quiescence. Quiescence means immediate response to a particular environmental condition that results in reduced. Anhydrobiosis, when the moisture is not present, like in mushroom nematodes, they undergo in a hydrobiotic condition because of dehydration. So there is alteration in metabolism leading to anhydrobiosis, and during anhydrobiosis they also get in coiled condition and aggregate at one point to reduce the need of moisture. Cryobiosis, that is induced by cooling. So during cooling they undergo cryobiosis. Anoxybiosis, they reduced. This is induced by the lack of oxygen. So if the oxygen is not there, they undergo anoxybiosis, means they need very less oxygen. Then osmobiosis, this is reduced in response of osmotic changes. Then irreversible conditions like diapause condition, then development arrest due to inherent capacity. I told you that diapause is the plant condition in nematodes, and it happens in Epians, that is facultative diapause, and in Heterodera aveni. Heterodera aveni is the cyst nematode which is causing losses in wheat and barley. So it is temporary, irreversible, and requires triggers to break the dormancy, even when all the environmental conditions are favorable. So this is the trigger is not the normal condition, normal environmental condition. This is the something different triggers that will break the dormancy. So in this condition, Dauber larvae is formed. Dauber larvae is the condition where the nematode, where the hello, where the nematodes do not feed, like free-living rhabditids and some plant parasitic nematodes. So these diapause may be obligate and facultative. So obligate diapause means it is initiated by endogenous factors and is terminated by predetermined specific environmental conditions. Like Heterodera aveni is feeding only on wheat and barley. So if you know wheat and barley, they are Rabi season crops. So when again the Rabi season crop will come, then again they will release from the cyst and they again infect the wheat roots. But during the middle time, that from one Rabi condition to another Rabi condition, they are under obligate diapause. Means if you give that condition also, they will not release their eggs. They will not hatch from the eggs. Then facultative diapause, like it happens in entomopathogenic nematodes. Entomopathogenic nematodes means that I told you. So they undergo facultative diapause initiated by, that is, exogenous factors, means the environmental factors, and is terminated either by endogenous factors or by the presence of the host. So if the host is present, they act normal activity. Now the cryptobiosis. Cryptobiosis happens during long period of stress. For example, four-layer nematodes. I told you already that the nematodes which feed on the above ground part of the plant, like on leaves, on seeds like anguina, they undergo cryptobiosis, and because of the anhydrobiotic condition, which is not initiated by dehydration, probably chemical toxicity of habitat or lack of host or anaerobiosis. And aggregation, as dehydration proceeds, nematodes spoil before becoming inactive. So because before becoming inactive, they become coiled so that they reduce their surface area to less evaporation of their surface moisture. All the nematodes or the nematodes lying at periphery. Sometimes the periphery nematodes, means which are living at the sites, they become more, they face the dehydration condition more. So they undergo coiling first. For example, in Dictyolencas dipsaki forms Nima wool or on Narcissus and tulip bulbs, and Anguina tritici also forms aggregation. Anhydrobiosis, for under anhydrobiotic condition, nematodes can survive from 1 year to 39 years in absence of water. Uh, Adaptation for the control of the rate of drying, and for biological adaptation to maintain structural and functional integrity. So for these all conditions, they have to undergo anhydrobiosis. Then in anhydrobiosis also, some may undergo slow dehydrating and some may go fast dehydrating. So the foliar nematodes like Anguina tritici or flancoids, they undergo slow dehydrating strategies, and Plactus species and Dictyolencas phyllobius, they undergo fast dehydrating strategies. So this is the last slide. So under different temperatures, they undergo thermobiosis. Like in Meladogine, many species are there. So some are tropical nematodes, some are temperate nematodes, some may undergo very high temperature like Meladogine erinaria. They are found in high temperature. In very low temperature, you may find Meladogine hapla. And in normal condition like tropical and subtropical areas, Meladogine incognita and Meladogine javanica, they are commonly found. So here also in Bihar, Meladogine incognita is found in large area, and in Hisar, Haryana, and Punjab, that you may find both incognita and javanica. So this cryobiosis that you told under low temperature, in which cold tolerant species able to survive temperature below the melting point of their body fluids. They do it by two methods. So under low temperature, they undergo either freeze tolerance or either freeze avoidance. So how they undergo freeze tolerance means surviving by ice formation. The species which lack an eggshell or sheath. So the difference is that if the species are lacking eggshell or sheath, they undergo freeze tolerance, and if they have eggshell or sheath, that is like Heterorhabditis zealandica and Trichostrongylus colubiformis. Heterorhabditis, I told you this is an EPN, entomopathogenic nematodes, and Trichostrongylus, this is a animal parasite nematode. So they undergo the survive by supercooling by freeze avoidance. Okay, so you just again read that slides whatever I taught you today, then you may get more idea of nematode survival. Okay, so with that I'm leaving. Send me the attendance please. If you have any query, write it down. In next class I will